I got to get this off my chest. I got to drop a little knowledge on you. You have to do the simple things better in your practice time. The most complex machine in the world is made up of a ton of smaller, much simpler mechanisms. Without each one of those building upon each other and working together, the complex machine breaks. It falls apart. No matter how complex the material is that you're working on in your practice time, you have to simplify it because it's made up of a bunch of smaller components. If you've been following my email lessons in the past week, I've been talking all about ghost notes. By the way, I just opened up Ghost Note Mastery. It's a course all about ghost notes. Ton of information. This is not a sales pitch. It's just I get emails and some of you have missed it. So if you want to see that, if you want to sign up for that, I've only opened it like 2 or 3 times for registration last year. You can follow the link below. But we've been talking about ghost notes. The funny thing about ghost notes is they're so simple in nature. I just had a student come through Nashville today and we were talking, Steve, what's up, man? And I loved it. The reason this was really on my mind was I loved his shirt, and it was really the topic of kind of what we were working on in the lesson. And his shirt just said, "Do simple better," the title of this video. And I just stared at it the whole time. I even told him, I'm like, dude, I really like your shirt. We were actually doing what his shirt said, because all too often we have this groove, we have this fill, we have this, whatever it is we want to learn, and we jump in and we try to consume the thing at its, at its face value. We have to consume the whole thing, right? We see the whole plate of food and we try to shove it all in our face instead of picking it apart one piece at a time. In your practice time, you have to reduce whatever you're working on to its simplest component. That groove that's giving you a ton of trouble, sit down and find the simplest part of it. Maybe it's 2 and 4 on the snare. Until you can play that perfectly, don't move on. And then the next thing we add is the next simplest thing we can add without messing things up. And once you can play that, you find the next simplest element and add that to it. See, most of my time as a teacher is not spent, doling out like our teachers did in school, like here's this exercise, here's this homework, here's this. It's not spent doing that. Most of my time is spent going, hey, let's simplify that a little bit. Okay, let's simplify that. Now let's build that up. Okay, now let's take this other simple element. Okay, slow that down. I spend so much of my time telling students you need to simplify your practice time. You need to simplify the material. You need to slow it down. That's the key. Simplifying and slowing things down so that you can find what the real issue is. Because no matter how complex the material is that you're working on, I guarantee you there's a simple component that's throwing a wrench in the whole thing. And if that simple component breaks, the whole machine won't work. Simplify in your practice time. Do simple better. I'm telling you, the progress you will see by taking anything that's complex and reducing it to its simplest components and then working up from there is light years from the progress you'll see by just trying to shove the whole plate of food and the whole exercise in your face at one time. Do simple better. You're going to be amazed at your progress.